All I gotta say is, what did I say, guys? What did I say? I lost. Let's see, I was at 347, and now I'm at 343 for subscribers. I pissed off a lot of people with my last video. Although the comments didn't show it, I ended up losing, 4 subscribers from that video because I attacked my own fan base. Let me tell you guys something. I am the least homer, least biased Tigers fan you are ever going to see. A lot of people expect me to come on here and agree with everything the Tigers do, everything the Tigers say, every time a player does something, that really isn't right, that is right. And I'm not like that. I'm sorry. If you're being stupid, I'm gonna call you out. And a lot of these Tiger fans I was talking to, not the whole fan base, there was some smart people commenting on my last video that I didn't get a chance to comment back to. They were making perfectly good sense and understanding where I was coming from. Why? Because they know the game of baseball. They're not being biased homers. I've been having people on Twitter saying I'm not a real fan because of stuff I say, about the Tigers. It's like I view the game with a clear mind, like I'm not a fan whatsoever. And I think if you don't view baseball like that, you're just cheating yourself because you're giving yourself this falsification of the game because you view it in a certain way. But what did I say? What did I say? The Tigers are already back in first place, a game and a half back up on the Indians, and now we got a 4-game series with the Indians. And what did I say, though? They were down for just a little bit, and they've won 3 straight already. So let's go to this series. Game 1 was Dickey versus Alvarez, and Dickey was not bad at all. He had another really good start, and Alvarez, was awful with his command again. Like I said, he's just been. I'm not seeing this guy that was so dominant in the minors. I haven't saw him once at all. Because he had like an ERA just a little over 2 down there, and he's just been god awful with the big club ever since he came up. I mean, he said his first start was good, his second start wasn't bad, but every start he's gotten progressively crappier. And I gave him as a wash, anyways. Tigers kind of made that close into Pacone and gave up that 3-run homer. And then game 2, Tigers pulled out a close victory. They were down 4-0 real quick. Doug Fister kind of got hit up a little bit in the early going. He ended up giving up 6 earned runs, which not good for the old ERA and whip. His ERA is actually up to 3.80 now, and his whip's to 1.2, which is not bad at all. But Tigers battled back and scored some runs, and this was the game changer for the series because Detroit was down 4-0 quick, came back and scored 6 in the second inning, and then Toronto put 2 on them to tie the game. And then in the 8th inning, Torrey Hunter hit a ball and beat it out for a single, which allowed a run to score, which I believe was Austin. No, not Austin Jackson. It was had to be Andy Dirks or Omar Infante, one of the two, I'm not sure. But he allowed a run to score, and the Tigers won that game. Joaquin Benoit was absolutely dominant in the 9th, like I said. So far, guys, what did I say? Drew Smyly, Joaquin Benoit, you want to win ball games, you will put those guys in the 8th, 9th inning. And what has it been? So far, those 2 guys have been lights out at the back end of the bullpen. Lights out. And that's going to help us in the long run, because if it keeps continuing to be this well, that means you don't got to go out and trade for someone like Papelbon because your closing situation is solved. You can go get out a lesser arm, that you're not going to have to pay as much for. Because you got to go out there and pay for Papelbon. Oh, man, you're going to be giving up the world because the Phillies know how many teams need closers right now and bullpen arms. And you don't have to go out there and give up like a Castellanos because you got a Benoit, a Smiley in the 8th, and you can just get 2 more setup arms. Man, way, way big of a help. Game 3 was Max Scherzer up against Josh Johnson. The Tigers hit up Josh Johnson early, gave Max Scherzer some early cushion, and Scherzer was absolutely outstanding. Got to 13-0. I mean, this guy, he's just pitching great. He's one of the leading guys got to be one of the first half Cy Youngs in the American League. I mean, his ERA is nearly under 3. He's got 130 strikeouts. His whip is a minuscule 0.92. He's just been pitching dominant. And then last night, we had Verlander Vold on there. 2 straight starts. Verlander last time goes 8 innings, 3 runs. Even though that he would have probably had 2 runs in a win, but Luke Scott got that homer off him in Tampa. But last night, I mean, he was strong from the word go. He could have won 8 innings if it was a closer game, but Verlander or Leland yanked him out because you had a 9-run lead going into the eighth. You really don't need to put your ace back out there. That game's done. Just put one of your beat up arms out of there in the pen, which he did. He put out Phil Coke and Darren Downs, and Verlander, man, I noticed straight from the beginning. He was throwing 95 in the first. Even though he did start out 90, but he threw 95 in the first inning. His mechanics looked a lot better. I actually agreed with Rod Allen. There was something about Verlander when he was trying to show everyone he saw his velocity. But yesterday, his motion was just so effortlessly. Like, he was throwing easy 95 a good chunk of the game, and he threw 97, 98, and it wasn't like he was forcing it, because when he was forcing overthrow, I remember that start in Texas where he walked the bases loaded and walked 2 guys in off bases loaded walks. He was just throwing so hard, and he was missing with his spot. Yesterday, he was throwing 95 and above, and it was like going to the corner still. He had command with it. Maybe he fixed up the issue. And I noticed he was throwing first pitch sliders for strikes. He was actually throwing his curveball a bit more. His curveball is not really the one. He had a couple good ones. He buckled Encarnacion on one, which is the first time I saw that all year. But there was a couple other ones where he missed with his location with him, but nonetheless, he threw him because he hasn't been throwing him as much this year at all. But he looked great. It was just an outstanding start. He's had 2 good starts back to back. His numbers are finally starting to fall down a little bit. I think his whip is down to 1.36, and his ERA is down to 3.54. So, a couple more starts, get his whip back down to 1.1. I'll be happy. So let's preview the Indians series. Monday is Ricky P against Justin Masterson. And Masterson has actually been pitching pretty goddamn good his last few starts. This year he's got a respectable 3.48 ERA, a 1.18 whip, which is really, really good. He's been pitching really good. He's been one of the big reasons why the Indians are where they are. Last time out, complete game shutout against the Chicago White Sox. And then the game before that, he gave up 6 earned runs. So that's been his really only blemish since against the Yankees when he gave up 7 when Teixeira hit that grand slam off him. And then game 2 is Anibal Sanchez is finally coming back. He's up against Carlos Carrasco, who's had an awful year to this point, and 3 starts. And hopefully Anibal, last time when he made his return against Minnesota, because he didn't go on the DL that first time, he just missed a start. His fastball velocity was down. His breaking stuff wasn't as sharp. You could tell he was still hurting. So look for his fastball velocity early. As long as he's 91 to 93, he's all right. But when he was 88, 89 to 90, he wasn't doing that good. And then game 3 is Dougie Fresh against Corey Kluber. And then the game I'm going to Cleveland on Monday, guys. Going to be representing the Tigers. Going to go down there, decked out my Tigers gear. It's time to heckle all 5 Indians fans that go to the game because I've never been to Progressive. I've never been to any other park besides Comerica. So I'm going down there Monday, and it's going to be a great game. Max Scherzer is going for 14-0 against crap-ass Scott Kazmir. And Scott Kazmir is crap. Even though last time out, he only gave up 3 earned runs. But I'm going to be representing the Tigers franchise, the Tigers name. I hope they win because the Tigers don't play great on the road, but hopefully they win. And hopefully this series, man, Tigers can go put some ground between them and Cleveland once again going into the break. So like I said, guys, I told you all that panic was useless. Won 3 straight, took a series from Blue Jays team that was just super hot a week ago. It's all good, guys. And the bullpen's been looking a bit better too. So I can't wait for Monday. I'll make my video on Tuesday morning, let you guys know how Cleveland was, how their fans react to a Tigers fan there, and how their city is just in general. So I got for you guys today. Go Tigers.